Hello guys, welcome to another live stream. In this video we're going to talk about AI and Deepin, the key narratives to be paying attention to right now. Now, I want to show you exactly why that is. Before we get into, the meat and bones of this, I'm also going to talk about a few projects right now that are going crazy that I'm probably aware you're aware of, or you're probably aware of. And then we're going to talk about some smaller ones that give us the opportunity to perhaps be able to get in. Because maybe we haven't yet. Okay, so that all sounds good. Hit the like button and let's get on with it. Now, guys, where shall we go to? This is what I want, right? Okay, this is really key, and a lot of people I know are just going through and they're like, "Tell me the coin, tell me the coin. I want the coin," and that just leaves you in a very vulnerable position because you're just holding coins and you don't really know where you are with regards to the kind of like the narrative in the pump. For example, if people are coming into the market now and they're like, or yesterday, and buying meme coins and stuff, and today they're down, significantly on some of them, that's because they don't know where they are in terms of the narrative and the timeline. Okay? So, this is a very key little metric for us. Google Trends. I use this on my videos quite often, guys. And what this is basically telling us is how many people are searching for stuff. It's very, very useful. Because AI, when the AI, thing's booming, it's obvious that like AI crypto and things are going to boom as well. So here we are, guys. Interest over time. Obviously, AI hasn't really been around very long. This is over the last 5 years. And you can see, 2022, last bull market, it started to gather a little bit of attention, but it wasn't ready. Suddenly we have a big spike around the sort of early part of last year because of all the sort of stock market stuff all getting very exciting. And then suddenly, it's all going. Hold on, shorting Bitcoin. You can see it's all been going ham. Okay, so all very, very exciting. Now, interest. Let's go down. This is AI search term. If we change this to Deepin, which is obviously the other part of this video and the one that I am particularly excited about, you'll see something slightly more interesting than the AI thing. The AI thing's important because the AI boom is what's causing this Deepin boom. But Deepin, decentralized physical infrastructure networks, covers like a variety of different bits and pieces. But to be honest, there's one area I'm most interested in, and that is the AI, the cloud compute stuff. Cloud compute, cloud storage. Why? Because the demand right now for AI infrastructure and infrastructure that's going to support AI is ludicrous, okay? Because it can't cope with the demands. And that tells us something. It tells us that crypto right now has the opportunity to see mass adoption. And you're like, oh yeah, we've heard this one before. Mass adoption is going to come into an industry where it's needed. It's not necessarily going to come, into GameFi where, I like the idea of game, and we all like the idea of it, but we all know that traditional games are much better than a lot of these, GameFi games, crypto games. I think you'll agree with me. So it doesn't need it, okay? It's a nice idea for now, and it will eventually happen. But the AI demand is crazy. It's like a $1.7 trillion spend anticipated by the year 2030. Ludicrous amount of money. And the demand for AI compute is like a 10x every 18 months. Supply is only a 2x. So, what does that mean for us? Right. How do I need to go to charts? That means for us, here we are. Let's have a zoom out. That a lot of these compute networks are going nuts. Okay? Now, I know a lot of people are excited about meme coins. We talked about meme coins a few times. And that's probably enough as far as I'm concerned. Meme coins are incredibly difficult to read and incredibly dangerous, but people can make lots of money. Most people don't. Most people are still probably stuck in them, and those coins are probably coming down. They're going to get wrecked. Maybe. But the difference here is this is a trend that's actually being supported by something other than, just the hearsay across markets. This is something that is being driven by something that's going on in a bigger picture. Other projects have been exploding. AIOZ having a very, very strong run, and we're going to talk about these in more depth in a little while to understand whether or not we want to be, maintaining our positions in some of these bigger coins. And then like AGIX has been having an incredible run from the AI side of things. And Nosana, Deepin, another ludicrous amount of money. Fowler Network I talked about on the channel last week, and if you got in, guys, you would have been getting in somewhere sort of down in and around this kind of area. We're talking about the opportunity that came from patterns like this. So Fowler Network's been, looking strong, still sort of, making its move, taking its time. I still feel that Fowler is a good, solid base right now. Reasonably big, but anyway, what was I going to talk about? There's something really important coming up next week. 11 days time. Now, I don't know if you know much about AI. Most people don't really know a huge amount. That's fine. I wouldn't say I know masses, but I've kind of got into it because of crypto, right? I want to make some money in investing. Nvidia, one of the biggest companies in the world now, has come to this, suddenly come out of nowhere and arrived in like the top 5 biggest companies in the US, behind like Apple, Microsoft, Google, and I think, one other, an oil company maybe. Don't know. Anyway, sits up there. Next week, or in 11 days' time, they have this huge convention in California, I believe. And this time, there's a lot of big names in crypto going. Now, I spoke to the CEO of AIOZ earlier, and he gave me a bit of an insight that, there's some exciting things going on. The audio's not great. Is that right? Sorry. Is it the mic? Please look at the mic. Yeah. I will do next time. Sorry. I think it's this new, like, I'm staying in a villa and there's no carpets. I'm changing house tomorrow. We'll see. I'm not just like sofa. What's it called? Couch surfing. I'm just on kind of my holidays. Anyway, big event, guys. Big event. Lots of information can come out during this period of time, and it's going to drive even more interest and excitement into AI. It happened last year. And this time, when you put in all the kind of money in the market right now, and you put in all those other bits and pieces, it's a really exciting proposition that's sat in front of us. So whether, a lot of these coins are seeing some good early growth, there's still lots of room to grow for them. Now, one thing I want to talk about while we're kind of on the subject, and I'm going to use this because I know I can see people in the comments, guys, just shouting out meme coin after meme coin. Fair enough. Audio is fine. Thank you, guys. You can all hear me. Not too tinny. Lovely. Nice and, I know my voice is a bit nasal, but that's fine. Can't change that. There's no settings for that. Anyway, what was I going to say? Put me down a rabbit hole, guys. When it comes to what's going on in the markets, yeah, okay, meme coins. Everyone gets really pumped up and excited about meme coins. I'm seeing people being like, "It's another 5x, another 10x from here." I was just looking at this guy earlier on. Let me just come down. This is over on Nansen, guys. It's kind of an expensive platform. You don't really need it, but I use it. And I was just finding like whale wallets to check out, and here's one, $5.4 million, and you can see that he or she, whoever it is, have been having a great bit of a run recently, and you can see what they bought, like Fetch and Ajax, back in like November time. Fetch and Ajax recently have just absolutely boomed. Whereas Ajax was down here, I just saw it. Fetch and Ajax, yeah, look at it, ludicrous amount of money. But when lots of people are sat here right now saying, "Oh, well, it's going to do another 5x," this is what the big money's doing. They go and they sell. They sold all their Ajax here and all their Fetch on the same day, about, what's this, 3rd of March, 4 days ago. They put all their money at that point into Phantom Network. And then guess what happens? Phantom Network pops. So the reason I'm showing you this is not like, oh, you should be buying Phantom. Don't go and just buy Phantom, okay? What I'm telling you is if you're in coins and they've been pumping a lot, there's people who've made fuckloads of money, millions of dollars, who will pull their money out of that pot. So while you're like everyone's telling you each other, this is going to keep going, yeah, it's always time to cool off, okay? Doesn't matter how good that coin is or how exciting it is, they'll always move between different coins, and they're the ones who really move the markets. All you're doing is loading up the pots, and they're like, thank you for that pot. Anyway, now, if you want to see more details on Nansen, and I will be going over like in a lot more detail there's a free masterclass you can get involved in, which is happening tomorrow, my time, tomorrow morning. I believe later on today if you're in the US, 4 p.m. EST, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Pacific time, which I believe is something like midday everywhere else. And that can be found at cryptomasterclass.ai./register. Hopefully I've left it in the link down below. I don't think I did though. Useless. Make sure you make sure you go and attend that, guys. Really, really useful. Last time we found a bunch of coins and some people made some crazy gains in just a few days from that. Okay, it's with Peter Voogd, partner of mine, working on something. We're going over different coins in the market, things like that. Absolutely free. Link down below in the description. Really, really useful call. Now, moving on. Enough of that. Okay, let's have a look. I'm going to go through in no particular order some of the coins that have been moving really aggressively recently and work out whether or not we've got decent entries. Now, Akash, guys, still absolutely going crazy. I don't want to get into coins that are looking anything like this right now because you can see it's going onto its parabolic move. It could well kind of rip up very quickly. And then eventually it will have to have a little bit of a cool off, okay? You can see here it didn't really get much of a cool off. Also an indicator, people will be looking to try and get in after it. You can see these kind of cool off, the candles are really, really small. It tells us that no one's really willing to take big profits here. People are still holding, and until eventually it holds a base and then someone comes in with a big buy and then it goes, okay? Let me show you kind of an example of maybe a more sustained pullback. This is INJ. Okay, I know it's not DEPIN and AI, but look at the size of that sell-off candle that came in here. Okay, we get more big sell-off candles. Thunderstorm outside. Hopefully this doesn't get we don't get a power cut. But you see these big candles, these big sell-off candles, so big selling pressure. Much better chance of kind of delayed like rise or at least some sort of a pullback. You don't get that if it's in like sort of small dip kind of candles like that. So you're going to have to be more patient if you're waiting for kind of bigger dips. Now, there is a lot of other projects out there. They're gaining a lot of attention and excitement, but be very cautious, okay? Because people will start to pull profits from the likes of Nosanas and whatever else that's been absolutely booming recently, and they'll look into other ones within that kind of that network, that industry, smaller ones, okay? Fetch AI, crazy stuff, okay? Now I see the biggest kind of movers over the next few days, the next few weeks, being now money flowing from these bigger kind of coins like this. I don't see a significant more amount of growth coming without some form of a pullback for some of these. Could be wrong, but I think it's going to move to the smaller market cap coins, which is what we're here for, right? Everyone loves them, right? Also, one beneficial thing about that is that Bitcoin is high right now. And if Bitcoin suddenly, you know, demolishes, comes down, these coins that have been ripping pull back very hard, okay? I don't think it's going to pull back super hard like that. If it does, you know, this is a good zone. And you can set up your buy zones. If it gets back, just set an alert, you know, if it comes back, happy days, okay? Let's just have a couple of questions before we move into those small caps. Also, guys, we've got suggestions for small caps. Thoughts on Shiba Inu liquidation map? Well, I appreciate your super chat, guys. Thank you very much. But guys, this is a Deepin and AI video. I bring up the memes as an example of being cautious, but we can maybe look at a couple of like questions outside of Deepin and AI. But guys, memes overrated, and people are like, oh, you didn't make any money in meme coins. I made like a little bit of money in Kokinu, but not that much. Nothing to shout about. Excuse me. Don't drink and trade, guys. It's always end badly. But you know, I don't have my keys right now. I can't get into any of the wallets, so it's fine. We're safe. We're not gonna lose it all. Now, a project that I'm pretty excited about, and I know a lot of people are getting excited about this one. And guys, just right now, there is not a token yet. Just be patient, okay? I'm gonna bring you ones that have got tokens, and I've got a really, really juicy one. If you stick around to the end of this video. See what I did there? A bit of retention. But yeah, it's actually a really good one. Anyway, gaming. Guys, gaming. Deepin, decentralized compute network, but not like the sort of stuff to do with AI. It's not necessarily going to like fill in that AI space, but it is kind of within the gaming area. There's a big thing outside of just the sort of the narratives and stuff, and that is like how it captures the crowd. Okay, so a lot of people I know are very excited about gaming, and for good reason. You know, it's an interesting project. Still, I think will launch with a fairly small market cap, which is very key. And I think because it's got such a small market cap, there's potentially a good opportunity for some growth there. Now, basically what it does is if you've got gaming computers, lots of these gaming computers are really advanced, you can share your GPU back into the network. This GPU power can then be used to support, to sort of be redistributed to other people. You will then earn rewards. If you are a gamer, you can use your rewards to buy different games and other things like that. Really cool, really different and interesting platform. And that's, you know, a bit of a crossover between GameFi and Deepin. Kind of nice, right? They do right now, and I have noticed, and the reason I am kind of interested about it, I did buy myself a gaming NFT on OpenSea. And I bought one of these coins only because someone told me to. Now, this is, do your own research, okay? Don't do what I do. Do what I tell you, okay? Don't always just do what I do because I'm not always the best. Anyway, someone was like, you need to buy one of these NFTs because they're going to be airdropping gaming tokens. And I'm like, okay. And I bought one of these big, this one. They're all big. Silver, gold, and a black gold. And it, by the way, I wouldn't pay 5.2 ETH. I wouldn't have paid 5.2 ETH. It was like 1.8 ETH. And that was when ETH was like $2,200. But this has gone up to like $21,000 in value. And that's because I feel that loads of people have been buying into gaming. Now, why people might buy these is you get airdropped gaming tokens throughout the year. So something like, I know on this black gold one, you get 88,000 gaming tokens each month for the next year. I don't know how much that equates to, but I have heard that value for money, the gold one is good. Check it out, okay? I don't know enough to tell you whether or not you should buy it, but if you are in gaming, you like gaming, these do appear to be doing okay, okay? But not financial advice, not associated with gaming in any way. I did reach out to talk to them on Twitter so I could find out more about these NFTs. Didn't really tell me much more than what I asked. Okay, so anyway, gaming, cool, looks good. Where are we at? There's the next one I want to talk about. Netmind. I'm going to come on to Netmind now. Let's talk about Netmind. Please, no disrespect. Don't care what you bought. Came here for information. A little bit of disrespect. The reason you don't care what I bought. CRV, mate. For first things, CRV, you know, it's a Deepin AI comment, and actually, you do care about what I bought because I told you I bought CRV. Anyway, so what I bought. The reason I'm telling you I bought it isn't to like fucking toot my own horn, guys. It's to tell you that I bought it because of what's going on in this gaming project, and then my story is that it's gone from being worth this to suddenly being worth this because lots of people are buying it because lots of people want to qualify for a gaming airdrop, which means that if gaming comes live, then it's going to, you know, potentially have a lot of audience who are waiting to get into that project. That's why I told you, okay? Anyway, hope that makes sense. Netmind.ai. Future powerhouse for the future. Okay, powerhouse for the future. There's a lot of like very exciting kind of big words when it comes to this AI. And the problem is with like a lot of us is that AI is kind of a bit of a technical, scary thing. Tau Potenza is one of the most, you know, brutally difficult to understand projects out there. Okay, I've seen very few. I think Coin Insider, who's definitely a very techie engineer, software engineer guy, tried to break it down, and even he was sort of struggling with it. I did one, and it was nowhere near as good as his. Anyway, Netmind is a pretty exciting project, and it seems to be within the kind of right narratives, okay? Again, I'm now sort of starting to look, and a problem as well, and I come back to it, Deepin's AIs, they have very big potential market caps because they have a lot of tech and they require a lot of investment and big teams to run them, which makes them ultimately expensive companies. Like other projects, like games, some of the new games and mobile games, it could be like 2 or 3 people. Like My Lovely Planet, which is a project I've partnered with, it's like 3 or 4 people sat in an office, okay? The overhead costs are so low, which means the launch price can be very low, but in crypto, you know the investments can throw things way out of the ballpark. So let's have a look at Netmind, because I know we need to check on market caps, because market caps tell us where we could potentially go. What is going on with Ether? Ether is going to have a pre-sale, which we are still waiting for. Should be There's going to be a node sale, I think, around the 20th of March, and after the node sale is complete, which I will be showing node sale stuff within the Discords and stuff. After that, there's going to be a pre-sale, which is going to be run through the Inner Circle Discord, and then after that, the token's going to go live. 418 million. Okay, admittedly, this is not a small cap coin. No, that's a lie. It's not a tiny cap, but it is actually pretty small. When we talk about AI projects, you talk about like the Tau Bitenzas of this world and stuff like that. Netmind is an interesting one, particularly if we look onto the chart. It's showing like a sort of a slightly different growth curve from a lot of these ones. Okay, and I want to show you maybe there's a little bit of Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Grigio, mate, Pinot Grigio. Okay, Netmind fairly new on the block, and you can see it has seen a lot of growth quite recently, having kind of come from a very sort of a steady start. That's not necessarily the most concerning thing, because you know, when it is kind of like coming from a fresh launch like this, it's already been through sort of stages of pull-ups, and it's just showing these big kind of continuation drives. If I was like in a coin like this, you see the kind of these big candles here, they tell me that there's huge momentum still in this, okay? Maybe we get some forms of pullbacks, but you can see right now we're getting a little pullback on the day, and you can see this is not really any form of big candle at all, okay? So potentially we have a little sideways, then we can see potential for more continuation. If we start to shrink down and see sort of smaller candles like this coming in after a big pump like this, then I would be considering to make myself clear away, get away from it. Okay, there was one I wanted to take a look at. Okay, Filecoin once more, and your thoughts on possible entries. Now, okay, I also want to talk about Filecoin, and I want to talk about Arweave, and I want to talk about AIOZ. Because after talking to AIOZ today, it's opened up my mind. I made a video about AIOZ 2 months ago, was it? And yes, it was a sponsored video, and I know people get upset. I'm sorry. I took a sponsored video, and I told you it was a sponsored video, and we bought in the green zone. So yeah, it was sponsored, but it's still, since it was there, has gone up a lot. I don't 200, 300%. Yeah. Okay, so AIOZ chart, fuck memes, language. AIOZ, yeah, okay. So you see, look, this is a very interesting pattern. And this is quite common that we see this, okay, where you see a very exciting first kind of run from AIOZ coming in. That was off the back of a lot of stuff to do with kind of that pickup in Deepin that we're seeing right now. You know, that Deepin kind of narrative that's come in very strongly. Since then, we've seen like a kind of a bit of a tail off, bit of a cool down. And then we've had like a kind of a second wind of this Deepin AI narrative, okay? The AIs were pumping pretty hard, and then we had kind of a month or so off, and then now they're getting going again. And that's very healthy. Also, what's very healthy, if you're seeing a pump like this, and you see it pull back pretty aggressively, and then put in like a good wick towards the downside, and a continuation candle that looks like that, that is a very bullish signal to me that we've just come back down to catch some liquidity. We've come up extremely aggressively, and the intent of the buyers is there. I think AIOZ, once it breaks these highs, is on a continuation run. And who else did that today? I think I paid attention. One, Rose, was it? Rose has done a very similar, yeah. Rose has done it. You can see this kind of like big wick towards the downside and says, no, thank you. Let's continue on our way. I still think that Rose is going to have a nice run up. If you're wondering what these kind of pictures are, this yellow one is the accumulation zone. This is like the indecision or the doubt zone. Can't remember what the word is. And then it runs into bull market area. Okay, so I'm anticipating Rose to have stormy outside a good move coming up fairly soon. Not guaranteed, of course, but it looks pretty solid. Now let's get rid of those so that we're kind of slowly breaking down through and getting clearer charts. Now AIOZ is an interesting one, and now I want to talk about AIOZ compared with Arweave, Filecoin. AIOZ is an absolute monster because it kind of does a variety of different things within the Deepin arena. Now, Filecoin and Arweave are specifically sort of storage-based platforms, but they don't really do like short term, sort of shorter term storage. Okay, this sort of like longer term sort of storage. You want to come in, you can put different files and things away within them, and they're kind of stored there for X amount of time. Now, Filecoin did bring in an AI that basically will manage that different data. So, for example, if I wanted to store away some data, let's say I was a big bank or whatever, and I wanted to give certain people access to some of the data and certain people access to others and kind of gatekeep it that way, then Filecoin has something called an FEM, which basically manages that. Arweave doesn't, which is why I anticipate that Filecoin might outperform Arweave more recently. But actually, I was clearly wrong with that, although Filecoin has still done quite well. Arweave half the market cap of Filecoin. So let's have a quick look at where Arweave sits and where Filecoin sits, and then I'll carry on with AIOZ and just break down a little bit more information about those. That's Arkham. Don't get so many charts up, guys. It's messy and it takes forever to find what you want to talk about, especially on a live stream. Yeah, I mean, that's filthy, isn't it? We were talking about Arweave and talking about this concept. This is a nice looking chart, and this, proves the theory we've been talking about a lot on this channel about this kind of accumulation zone down here, followed by like the indecision zone, followed by the bull market. Arweave, though, is running into something very key to pay attention to, and it's this like shoulder of the kind of the previous chart, okay? The shoulder. I would anticipate that if Arweave gets into here, I would expect it to maybe have a little bit of a dip back down and maybe some form of a consolidation that looks a bit like this. Or it could look like this. And then a continuation. I would be very shocked if it just breaks all the way through. If it does break through, I would anticipate it to come back down into here. Then you've also got a nice entry. Excuse me. That was not scripted. Anyway, guys. Yeah, so Arweave maybe a little bit expensive right now. Filecoin. But yeah, guys, if you were subscribed, we would have been, you would have been in buying these coins the other day. So we've been talking about them, months and months, Filecoin, Arweave, etc. In fact, Filecoin still doesn't look bad from this particular period because it's sat at $9, 9.6. It's broken or tried to break through this kind of clear resistance, okay? But what's notable is that on the chart here, it's got very strong aggression. It's pulled back, and then it sort of started to buy up again. This is on a weekly chart. I would anticipate that Filecoin could well look to be breaking here, but maybe we might see a kind of an indecision zone here, and then maybe some form of a continuation. Who knows, right? It depends a bit on what happens with Bitcoin, whether Bitcoin can continue to rally or what's going on. But you see, Arweave in comparison is about where this is on Filecoin. So Filecoin's got like a 3x up to that point, and Arweave, I would say, is already up at that point. So that's my opinion. Might be wrong, but yeah, I would say that Arweave is probably a little bit gone. Also, guys, when it comes to like certain coins, and you're like, I know that maybe you've heard some coins that I talked about on this, or you heard other people talk about them, or you found them and you were like, wow, that's a really interesting project. I get it. Sometimes it sucks that you kind of might have missed a project and you want to invest in it, but you didn't. You want an entry. Sometimes, just be like, what else is there? For every like Filecoin and Arweave, there's another, few projects, and I'll show you one in a minute that I think is definitely worth paying attention to. So, where was I going after this? AIOZ. Now, okay, AIOZ is a much bigger beast than Filecoin and Arweave. It's been in the works for like years and years. Is also NVIDIA in NVIDIA. Let's have a look at the website. But it does a few different bits and pieces, okay? So it's Deepin for Web3, AI, and storage. It's basically what Amazon Web Services does, but on-chain. Every website you're using, whether it's YouTube or Facebook or whatever else you use, is all put on top of a cloud service, such as Amazon Web Services. So if you want to build a website, you want to run videos and things like that, typically you have to build a website. You then have to pay for storage. You then have to pay for storage or whatever it is of like your videos, either from Vimeo or like YouTube. You have to embed these videos, which Vimeo is expensive, I believe, used to be at least. YouTube's just a pain in the ass, because then if someone's on your website and they click on that YouTube video, they then, you know, go off to YouTube and forget like what you've even been talking about on your website. Disaster. So Deepin offers, AIOZ offers streaming, inbuilt streaming, storage, and as well AI compute. It's basically an all-encompassing like blockchain that allows for all of these other bits and pieces to be built on top of it. Now, in terms of the storage, they also offer, so the storage, the Web3 storage, which is this, is basically, you know, what is on offer with Arweave and Filecoin. Web3 IPFS is also interesting because it allows for a variety of different applications and things to be stored. Again, coming up, okay, it's not yet available. AI compute also coming soon, but these are all going to be launched and possibly something that is we're looking forward to. Now, the CEO said to me on the call, he's like, we have this, you know, this GTC thing with NVIDIA. We're going to be there. We're going to be speaking at it. Previously, we've won awards at this thing. There's some big things we're going to share with you there. Okay, so sorry, I know we haven't been looking at the website, but there's some big things we're going to be sharing you there. So maybe there's something exciting coming up. I don't know for sure. If when I find out things, I will be able to share them. But he said there's definitely some bits and pieces, you know, that are going to excite people that I can't talk about. Elio Trades. And I believe that Miles is going to get them a connect with Alex Becker. So who knows? You know, they are well funded. They've got the right contacts. You know, it's a big thing. And I know people don't like marketing, guys, but these fucking projects need marketing. Okay, it is what it is. Yeah. So AIOZ pretty bullish. Although again, chart looks. Yeah. Why I'm kind of like slightly like why I would be slightly more bullish on this chart over the other ones is that if you'd asked me 2 weeks ago, am I bullish on this? I would say no. We're probably going to have a pullback. We did have like sideways. We have pulled back. We pulled back from that top, which was there. We pulled back down to, I don't know, somewhere not quite there, about 40%, just under 40%. It's a pretty healthy pullback. And now we're looking to break those highs. It wouldn't shock me if AIOZ doesn't end up around 60 cents in a fairly short period of time. But I could be wrong. So yeah, do your own research and all that good stuff. Now, let's just take a look at what else is going on. Guys, those people who are looking to get into that free crypto masterclass, I'm just going to put it in the comments here. Make sure you are jumping into that masterclass, registering it. I'm going to run through various things, but typically what we'll look at, what we're most likely to look at, is a bunch of kind of like whale tracking wallets, because there's some really interesting stuff. People who've been diving into meme coins recently and now sort of diving out. Lots of people who have been in certain AI projects like Fetch AI, Ajax, etc., and now bouncing into other much smaller market cap AI coins and things like that. I'm going to basically run through exactly how you can do these things using various tools, not just Nansen, but other free tools as well. I'm also going to be talking about some other hidden gems that I haven't really talked about on here. So if you want to get in the inside scoop, and I know when we ran this video before, I think last month, we had a huge amount of success from just a couple of calls that came out of something we found on Nansen. We found one of the coins, CWR or CRW, rings a bell, and it absolutely pumped within about 2 or 3 days. Maybe because everyone on the live stream bought it. So get into the live stream early, and then you could be the one who buys it early. Anyway. Few super chats. Thank you very much again, guys. Very, very much appreciated. Kosamui, can you please look at LNAI, personalized AI agents? Okay, now you had me at AI agents already running and can download, and it's just launching now, so could be a big one. Okay, ELNAI. Okay, I'm gonna look at this, guys, because it's very key. ELNAI. Send me a website. Okay, found it. Okay, AI agents are the future. What's an AI agent? Now, large language model. I think I've talked about this a few times. Collects lots of information, lots of data. You go and search for something like ChatGPT, right? And then it pops up with a bit of information about whatever you asked it, and it sounds like it's a human talking, but really it's just taking the information, it's just regurgitating it in an easy to understand manner. AI agents are slightly different because they have this information available to them, and then they can go and act upon it. So you can be like, I need to file my taxes for this year's tax year, and you can give them access to your files and stuff, and they can go away and do that for you. They can go and work out all your expenditure. They can go and work out all your incomes. They can go and work out all these different bits and pieces, and they can say, right, well, if you live in the UK, these are the systems, and you can go and, this is what you need. And then you could even maybe have them later down the line sending away your tax forms for you. And you could even program it in so that every, the end of January, I believe it is in the UK, that this has to go off, that it's all automatically done for you. Imagine in the future, and Bill Gates has already said this, that each individual out there has an AI agent basically as a PA. Okay? That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Sorry, my itchy nose. Sorry, I keep rubbing my nose. With Elna, you can upload your own data to train unique machine learning models that focus on topics and applications. Current AI chatbots. Okay, what's key about this? And I've never looked at this before, but one thing to kind of pay attention to: the key narrative, AI agents, is a very exciting thing. When we get crossover between like AI agents and like Deepin, or AI agents and like ICP, a trending topic, it's quite a good one. Okay, it's quite a useful kind of thing to look at. Upload documents, data sets, teach your AI specialist knowledge. Okay, so that's what I mean. You could have certain things that you want your AI to run for you, and you can basically deliver it different things. Now, if typically they come with developer kits and things like that, you can implement your AI into different websites. So yeah, Elna AI. I'm not sure it has a token yet, when it's going to be launched or anything like that. But definitely worth going and having a read of this. So thank you very much to Kosamugo. And thank you for your Taibat. Abdullah. Track, Ocean, File. Yeah, File, decent, mate. Your view on selling my Solana pump? I mean, Solana's been pumping really hard. I don't think you can be... I mean, at the end of the day, mate, it depends what you got in, right? A lot of us bought Solana through last year. I know initially we made video around sort of $8-9. So, made a lot of money in Solana. It's not necessarily a bad thing to be selling some of it for profit to go and put into other things. Now Solana's at $140. A 2x is $280. It's an all-time high. Okay, you're more likely to see 2x's and other things. I don't think you should be too concerned. And in fact, I think a move from Solana for you to Filecoin, not a bad option. But obviously, you've done your own research. You've made your choices. Sounds good. Let's have a look at Ocean. Because I know Ocean's been running. Yeah, Ocean's been running hot. I mean, Ocean's obviously doing well, right? But again, like, it's been straight up for the last 5 or so weeks. Maybe it will continue to run hot, but I feel like that, maybe the AI narrative will run hot for at least another week or two, and then maybe it has a little bit of a chill out. Who knows? But Ocean, I would say, is kind of a similar boat to Solana. It's been performing very strongly. Now, another one I want to talk about, which I kind of haven't got around to yet, is Claw AI. And it's one that I haven't really talked about. It's an interesting one. Again, like NVIDIA relationship. Again, AI compute. It's not as cold as it was. Barley doesn't have a great wine selection, I'm afraid. Pretty rough. Claw AI. Yeah, sorry. Decentralized compute networks. It is also NVIDIA partnership. I think as we look at this chart, you would say, yeah, it's at all-time highs. But actually, this pattern where you've had a leg up, you've now created a cup and handle. If I make this a daily chart, it's going to create you the perfect cup and handle. Now, the target of a cup and handle is the height of the cup. I don't know why my chart's playing funny. I think it might be the streaming stuff. And then it's at 60-70%. I mean, you can see Claw having a very quick, aggressive push. I think Claw looks good. Okay. yes, it's at all-time highs, and yeah, it would have been great to have been buying it down here, but I know right now, if you've not been buying it, it's good, okay? Smaller market cap than perhaps like Akash's and whatever else of this world, still not tiny. I think will continue to look pretty strong. Any more? Render. Let me have a look at Render, because I did sort of tell you about this earlier. Render's been, I mean, we talked about Render quite a lot on the channel for a while. I stopped talking about it, and lots of people were like, well, you used to talk about this all the time. Why did you stop? The reason I stopped talking about it, guys, I used to talk about it when it was down here, when it's good value, and then it gets to a point where I don't want to talk about coins anymore because they're very high, and I don't want people to just like ape into coins that I've been talking about, because I know people just hear me mention a word and go into it. Render looks pretty high. Okay, it went very hard yesterday. Maybe there was a reason for it. I'm not really sure, but I think it's just overall, it's a coin that's captured the imagination. Doesn't, in terms of like the decentralized rendering stuff, doesn't have a huge amount of competition within like on-chain stuff, which is kind of a key thing. Pretty big market cap. Has just broken the all-time highs. If I was to do like a Fibonacci retrace down to the bottom, you would say that maybe Render runs to, what's this, about $12.5 before having some form of a pullback, which from here is not an amazing push. And also there's a fairly decent chance of pullback, I think. Yeah, Render looks okay. But it's not necessarily what I would be aping into if I hadn't been aping into it already. Yeah. Okay. Fallon Network, I did talk about the other day. Fallon Network still looks good, guys. Still earlier stages. Lots of these coins. Remember, when I showed you those ones from Arweave and Fallon, and Fallon Network, let me just show you this Arweave one. I can show you the comparisons, and then it all makes sense, because a lot of these charts, yeah, this project, that project, and how about this project versus that project? How about, the charts? Just look at the charts. Where's the line? Shit. There we are. Just sort of move that around. That's a weekly chart. That's probably why it doesn't look the same. Anyway, look at it, guys. Fallon Network on the top. Bottom, you've got Arweave. Very similar patterns. Different projects, yeah. Similar market caps, I think. Fallon Network looks strong. Okay, I talked about it last week. It still looks like it's going in its indecision zone. It's not called an indecision zone. I just can't remember what it's called. Disbelief zone. Accumulation. Disbelief. Bull market. Disbelief. Accumulation. Disbelief. Bull market. Easy, hopefully. Now, guys, make sure that you're not just aping into anything that I've talked about today without going and having a good look at it. The idea about like Deepin and AI that I want to like show you, I want to talk to you about like what's kind of like the movements right now in the markets. There's definitely some opportunity to be had if you're kind of smart, and if you understand that these narratives, these coins aren't just pumping randomly. It's definitely, if we go to coin market cap, no, hold on, what's it? Bubbles. You can see on the bubbles chart, look at the coins that are pumping today. Rose, Render, Akash, Ajax, the Graph. Near Protocol, by the way, are also one of the host speakers or guest speakers at this NVIDIA event. Fetch AI. Helium, also Deepin, but not in the kind of compute space. Helium, also an interesting project, definitely worth having a look at. And I know that there are a bunch of other coins, but these ones, the biggest bubbles, pretty much, are all associated with this kind of like AI and Deepin narrative. Okay. AI agents, very key as well. Look into AGI. OLAS, Auto NOLAS, a project I've been talking about recently as well, having some good runs. If we go out to the 100 to 102, a few other different projects. Nosana up there, Pith Network, Ocean Protocol, and obviously a few in the middle. Still got Molk, the meme coin, still getting strong. 201 to 300. AIOZ. Didn't know AIOZ was all the way down there. Ori. Okay, Ori as well. Maybe I'll cover on another video. I know a lot of people have been talking about it. Clearly a popular one. It's good to see these meme coins crumbling finally. Finally, there is justice. We're getting rid of the memes, which is good. Ator. Guys, a lot of people as well in the comments earlier when I was asking. Ator booming. AGI, Delesium, AI Agent, been looking absolutely killer right now. OLAS, OLAS, is a very interesting also AI agent to pay attention to. I'm not sure where it is in terms of market cap. Falla Network here. Yeah, I mean, go down the list, guys. All of these tokens that we've talked about today, no, not all of the tokens, but most of the tokens can be found in MEXC. Link down below in the description. I like MEXC because no KYC. 0% spot maker take fees. It's free to trade on and has over 4,500 different altcoins. Be careful with any exchange. You know, should use funds. Shouldn't leave too many funds on there. Shouldn't leave too many funds on Binance. Shouldn't leave too many funds on KuCoin. Any exchange you're using, make sure you're using a hardware wallet or a MetaMask wallet. This is a decent wallet. There's a link down below if you want to get a decent wallet. You'll get a discount as well. It's cool because it's got a fingerprint scanner, which is very James Bond. Yeah, that's why I like it. Also, okay, guys, let's just start to wrap that up. Now, make sure, guys, I'm really serious. Get into this crypto masterclass, okay? I'll send the link again in the chat. It would be great to get you on board with that. Absolutely free. No obligation. And also, if you aren't able to attend the time, don't worry. You can still register for it and you'll be able to watch it through an email later on. So make sure you sign up. Link is in the chats right now. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I will see you tomorrow with a video, a live recorded video, where I'm going to go into more depth about some of these AI and Deepin coins. I cover some that I didn't cover in this, like Crest, Peak Network, and a few others, very key ones. Thanks for watching, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. How do we get out of here?